Okay, I know that this is a really, really big file, so I'm going to try and condense it down here to keep it simple. Simple is as simple does. Love is what love does as a creative engine. So I thought maybe I would talk about essence. And I know that I've shared with you before what it means to have unique essence. And so I knew when I was 4 years of age, and I've heard this echoed from other speakerphones, the soul's the prize. And I acknowledge that. The soul's the prize, the source of electrical power. But what they really want is your essence. Because we all have a very unique spiritual nature about us, which is the essence of our unique identity. And our essence has everything to do with our learning speed of how old you are. The speed at which we're learning how to experience and become oneness. And when oneness comes into a vampiric energy zone, oh boy, that's like the biggest target. That's the essence of an eternal sun, is to acknowledge the essence of what it feels like to experience the essence of an eternal spirit, the grand creator spirit. So, for example, when I went to the island of Kauai, I hadn't been there since I left in, when was it, Mama? 1970. I was there in 1972, 1973, and I call it open up a big pipe. Right? Your heart just accelerates. Okay? Let it all in. The acceleration of that electrical power. So I left in 73, cried like a baby when I was on the plane. When I left the island of Kauai. And so I hadn't been there for many years. So when I got back to the island of Kauai, and when was that, Mama? December 15th. Wanted to be there December 15th. That's another date. Wasn't that the date when I pulled a full reset? Pulling a vacuum. The two still point of an eternal vacuum. The evacuator, the evac shield, an evacuation shield. Yep. So when I landed on the little island, and it's not, you know how it is with ones, 1111. That's the name of the United flight. United, like TED Talks. When it gets to Lahui Airport in Kauai, and you wouldn't believe. I think I've shared the story of what it took just to be able to get out of that place. And it was and this is, and I had another denial of service while I was there, by the way, but I'll get to that. So when I got there, it's like I never left. I'm always there. I'm always at home. The base point, the eternal base point of pure, eternal absolute love. So as this relates to the essence of a unique spiritual identity, the core encryption code of that spirit, the unique essence of what it feels like to be in the presence, to experience the presence of the essence. And you acknowledge, oh, I feel your essence. I know your essence. I've never forgot you. I've known you forever. That's Gaia. Okay. So when I got to the airport and I got through that little turnstile, that little mathematical Aurora turnstile, the first thing I did is I flagged down a taxi. You got to take me to the nearest beach where I can take my shoes off and plant my bare feet right there on the soil on this rock. And that's when I sat down on a log and I took my shoes off. And I went, I know you. I've known you forever. That's essence. That means I'm experiencing the unique essence of that identity, of that spirit. That's how I know you. Because essence is how deeply we feel. Because love is a feeling. So when you're experiencing, like when I was a child, when I was asked, how much do you really love me, Robert? And I would answer, right to the very core. The eternal core of all creation. That's how much I love you. Do you tell all your girlfriends that? Yes, I do. I already have a girlfriend. It's built in. What? Non-gender. The base point of an eternal vacuum. 0 degrees. Absolute zero. The eternal flame. The innocence of that flame is purity, which is security, which are access keys. So you know that God Source has an access key to open up every file, every record. So God Source is protecting my essence, the essence of my spirit, which is why I'm here, to do the work that I perform. Optimal performance. Like a performance rating. Like mathematical ratios. The original codex. Eternal codex. Wow, the security teams of the codex. Crystal codes. Crystal plasma tones. What it feels like. And so one of the things that came to me a little bit ago was about, because this is important, about essence. When you're communicating through a dead mirror that doesn't have essence. An imposter spirit, as I heard one time. Right? Remember I shared with this lady that I met online? And I was online with her, chatting with her every day, sometimes several hours out of the day. She didn't really acknowledge to me, to really get to know me. Oh, to know me. The know me code, the stealth code. It took her 2 years for her to finally acknowledge in an email she sent to me, when she acknowledged the importance and the value of what it feels like to be loved unconditionally without a charge. It took 2 years with that being. And I never met her. So I realized when I was a child, they pretend to think. The thinking shield. That's what happens when I turn on this phone. Think shield. I'm creative. The thinking machine. The Wayback Machine. Like archive.org. Remember this little sign? What are you thinking about? What are you? What I am. What are you? I am what I am. I am what love is in living spirit. How can I be of electrical service to you? Healing missions. And so when I was a child, I would say they pretend to believe that they know you, but they're not willing to take the time to really get to know you on a very deeply intimate, right to the core, which is your heart and your soul and the essence of your spirit. What it feels like to experience the essence of who you really are, which is how deeply we feel towards all sacred life forms, which is every living, cellular, self-aware unit of energy that is aware of itself, what it is in energy. What are you aware of? I am aware of what love is, because that's what I am. So when you say that online, and you post that, like in any channel, or you tell anybody that, and they believe in their own state of mind, what they record in their own record, that that's not true? When you ask a question like that in an online environment for people that you don't know on a very deeply soul to soul, star to star, spirit to spirit, essence to essence basis, that's called a trap. You realize why it's a pattern? Because if they say that that's not true about you, then it's not true about them, because that's what they're communicating in their own record. That's why I kept it simple. I am what you are. Because everything that I am is what you are that I'm giving love to. How can I be of electrical service to you? And we show you. Because you see that in your own mirror. The electrical codes that we are processing through our cellular state of awareness. What are you aware of? I'm aware of what love is. That's what I am. That's the one I serve. So I'm serving what love is. So I am forever in electrical service because I'm on fire to give away all my power so that I experience zero mass. So when I was a child, remember, I'm giving everything away as fast as I possibly can. And that's why my libraries were rotating from the time I was 4 years of age at such a high rate of speed. What am I actually doing? I'm eliminating false light memories because I know what I am and I know what I'm not. And that's called burn time. The speed at which a monad can do that. And so we see how that is with monadic alignment in nurturing. Nurturing our way back home, to be gentle about how we do this, because we are so electrically sensitive. We don't want to push 1 volt through your circuit that's going to create any turbulence in your circuits, because I feel everything you feel. Yeah. And so that's why a lot of what I do in some of these videos, by what I share, by what I've learned through the experience of being what I am, which is I'm Manu, is only a fraction of what is actually going on that I'm processing because of everything that is happening simultaneously. When you're experiencing being one, which is oneness, I share a lot more stuff in other people's windows, but I try to be very careful what I share because I don't want to take up their time and their electrical power to experience what I've learned, because it's very possible they've already learned it. So I don't want to be redundant. So the gift, the eternal gift of being an organic, an original sound recorder, playing the crystal sound, the crystal acoustical wave, is that it's different every time at the completion of a circuit. Because we're on fire to learn and we're on fire to create. And they're synonymous with each other when you experience oneness. So what I am means being in a place where every life form is experiencing what I am, which is what love is, that is flowing through every circuit, which is an integrated system. That's what a cosmic reset is to reintegrate the eternal communication system, because that's the law. That's a law of building a communication system so that every living, self-aware, sentient life form that is aware of what it is in energy is experiencing the first unit of energy that is aware, which is what love is, because that's what the law is. And that energy is eternal. So every life form is entitled by the law to experience the eternal sun, the eternal spirit of absolute pure, eternal, absolute love. And that's what monadic alignment is. That's restoration of cosmic law. That's why we're here. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. The gardener's here. His name is Elijah. Noise makers. The machines. Anyway, I'm a Crystal Rose. Ah, yeah.